guys, today I am out in the garden to, I guess, say goodbye to something that's been here in my garden since we purchased the house and moved in. I have been waiting and hoping that they would start to grow again, but sadly they have not. You can see them over here. All of the boxwoods in the garden this year have died. So I have decided that it's time to move on. They need to be replaced, and I'm going to dig them out today and replace them, I think, with some hostas that I have in these perennial gardens along the side of the house. I have a bunch of ferns. Again, this was landscaping that was done years ago when the house was built, and the ferns have definitely taken over in this section, and the hostas get lost under all of these ferns. So to rescue them and bring them out, I'm going to try and dig some of them up from around these ferns. These are ostrich ferns, I do believe. They get really large. They come back every year, and they just fill in this space. And I really don't do much with this garden on the side of the house other than let the ferns do their thing. But the hostas definitely get lost in this section. So today I'm going to replace the boxwood hedge that has been over in this small section in the backyard with some of these hostas that get lost in the ferns. So my name is Bonnie. This is Artist in a Garden, saying goodbye to the boxwoods.
Walk with me. Let's leave the past behind. Walk with me. There's something else we need to find. Say you'll go, don't make me wait. There's no need to hesitate. Let's make footprints in the sand. Let's make miracles, come hold my hand. Let's find something new, me and you.
Well, that was a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. Those boxwoods have been here since this garden was developed, when the house was built. So they are probably 10 to 12, maybe it's been 15 years. Anyways, I've got those out. It's really opened up the garden. I sit at the window in the house there and look out at this garden. So that's where my studio is, just inside the house. And I found with the boxwoods here, your eye definitely stopped at the edge of this garden, especially with all the yellow leaves. So sorry, I'm a little out of breath from digging up dead boxwoods. Anyway, so I had originally moved these last two from the corner. If you remember, I think it was last spring, we had a tree come down onto this garden and crushed a few of the boxwoods around the edge. And I was just left with two random boxwoods in the front. So I had moved these last two out here to this end to complete the hedge on this side. Little did I know that this year they would all be coming out. I was hoping and waiting for them to recover, and sadly they have not. We had a really cold spring this year, and I think they started to break dormancy like they normally do. They had a bit of the winter tip damage, some of the yellowing, which was normal for these type of boxwoods, which I actually don't even know what type of boxwoods they are, because they were here when we moved in. Again, back to what I was talking about. The last two here should be fairly easy to remove. They've only been in this spot for one season, but they didn't recover either. But my focus today is to get these boxwoods out, but the rest of the boxwoods in the garden, all of them have the same damage. And it's starting to rain. We might not get it finished today. Well, we have 4 of them out, so let's get the last 2 gone so we can get this cleaned up.
Let's make miracles.
Oh. Well guys, it is starting to rain and there is a storm coming in across the field. We're gonna have to finish this another day. It's time to say goodbye to the boxwoods. They have had their final journey out here to the burn pile where we will dispose of them and start over with something new. The weather cleared this afternoon and I'm able to hopefully get this garden tidied up and finished up so I can show you how it's going to turn out.
You and I, we got it. We don't need no more. Even in the hard times, you and I can weather any storm.
After the rain, the mosquitoes are insane out here right now. There's actually a very little wind and we've just had a huge rainstorm come through. I was able to get a break enough in the weather to finish up this garden and get the boxwoods moved out and some of my hostas that I've rescued from inside my ostrich ferns into this garden space. Now, they are by no means plants that came out of cans, perfect in the nursery. And I'll give you a quick overview of how it turned out. They're a little sparse and lanky in this garden, but I think you'll get the idea of how I want this to turn out. Especially this one. This one is so floppy and all over the place, but we'll give it some time. And hopefully in the next season, in the spring, when they're coming up fresh on their own, they'll come up a lot more uniform and more in control look, let's say. It doesn't really look much like a hosta hedge right now, but more of a, I've rescued these plants from inside my ostrich fern garden. Well guys, I've got it completed. I've got all my hostas moved over here for now. We will keep upgrading this space. Now that the boxwoods are gone, who knows what this will end up being. Leave me a comment below. Let me know if you've ever had to re-landscape a space because of a loss of your favorite plant or a structural plant in your garden. How did it turn out? My name is Bonnie. This is Artist in a Garden. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.